Hello,
Evelyn, the floor is yours. So we are glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the introduction. I will share my screen. Okay, just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, I see I have, yeah, can you see it?
Excellent, yes.
Okay, so I have the pleasure to present a bit the zero waste situation in Austria. And I think first of all, okay, I will try to get the second slide. Yeah. First of all, I think it's important to understand that we are a small country, because when it comes to waste management and when it comes to zero waste, it makes a big difference. So yes, we are a small country with almost 2 million inhabitants. And as you see, we have just one real big city, which is not even that big. And this is Vienna with 1.2 million inhabitants, and all the rest that are much smaller cities, towns. The second biggest city is Graz with 290,000 inhabitants, then Linz in the north with 200,000 inhabitants, and all the others are smaller. So there are a lot of municipalities also in the countryside, and this makes a big difference when it comes to practical waste management and zero waste practices. So, and yes, we have incinerators. So in the zero waste community, we are the ones with incinerators and with waste to energy. And now at the moment, with the present situation, when here in Austria, we do not really know where to get enough energy. There is again this topic to burn the waste we have to get more energy. So this is a bit a difficult discussion at the moment, that we as the zero waste community have to say, no, waste to energy is no solution. To burn waste is not a renewable methodology to get energy. Yes, this is a bit a problem in Austria. We still have waste to energy and incinerators, but we also have a rather good waste management. And this is, yeah, citizens are used to waste management. We have a good system for centuries, not for centuries, for about 40 years. So we are used to it. We have curbside collection for glass, aluminium, textiles. We have door-to-door collection for residuals, for paper, packaging, and organics. People are used to it, and it works. It works rather good, but we have one challenge, and this is that we have waste management associations in the municipalities. And this means that, for example, the city of Vienna or the city of Graz or the other bigger cities, they have their own waste management. So they can decide their pay-as-you-throw taxes. They can decide their waste management, and sometimes they even have their own waste management facilities. But in general, all the other towns and the majority of the towns, municipalities, they do not have their own management. So it means that more all regional towns and municipalities are organized in those associations. In those associations are the mayors, the councillors, and they together decide for their region how to organize their waste management. They decide the taxes, they decide with which private waste management facility they want to cooperate. And when it comes for us to the discussion about zero waste cities, this is for us difficult, because if we talk to one municipality, they are not in the position to decide for their municipality. They are part of this association, and they can't take their own decisions. Yeah. this is our challenge. And maybe one thing, as you see the photo on the bottom, the organics, this is typical in Austria, that many private households, if they have a garden, they really use the home composting, and in general, the management of organics, we have all small structured bio-waste facilities. This is all small structured. Yeah. And we are rather good at recycling, and we are rather proud of this. So if you compare the EU targets for 2030, we are rather good. We have 84% of glass recycling. We should reach the 74% until 2030, so we are already better. For paper recycling, we have 84%, and we should reach the 85% until 2030, so we are rather good. For aluminium, we are even much better. We have 84% of aluminium recycling. We should reach the 60%, but for plastics, we still have to improve. We have at the moment 25% of plastic recycling, and we should get the 55%. So, okay. So, and this good recycling things, this is good, of course, but on the other side, this is often an excuse for waste prevention. And here you see one big challenge in Austria. We produce too much waste. So every inhabitant per year produces almost 600 kilos of waste. This is with all fractions. And so we always say recycling is not enough. The big challenge in Austria is that we have to focus on waste prevention, because often citizens say, yes, I already do a lot for the environment, for the climate, because we have a good recycling system, and I use the separate collection. But then we have to say, yes, recycling is good, but you have to produce less waste. And therefore, in Austria, the focus on zero waste is really not so much on better recycling, not so much on better separate collection, but really on waste prevention, to say, hey, we have to find habits to produce less waste. So the zero waste work in Austria has two main focuses. One is lifestyle. Zero waste lifestyle is still very trendy, and it is not only an urban phenomenon, it is also very trendy on the countryside, because people have a certain desire to live in a more natural way. But at the moment, the rises in prices, especially for food, makes it difficult for many citizens that they don't want to spend or can't spend so much on packaging-free food, and we see that they go back to buy packaged food in supermarkets. So yeah, this is a bit difficult at the moment, but the lifestyle is still trendy. Then we see a strong interest in zero waste at schools. This started in 2019 with the Fridays for Future movement, when many teachers contacted us and asked for zero waste workshops for their students. And now after the Corona pandemic situation, there is still a strong demand. And we see that the interest has changed in a certain way, because in 2019 teachers were interested in offering something to their students, because the students wanted to know more about the zero waste lifestyle, and so we offered something. And now the discussion is different. When I go now to schools, the teachers really, they are much more how can I say it? The message is different to the students because they say, hey, this is not just a nice lifestyle. We have to change something. We have a climate crisis. This is important for you. So please, students, do whatever you can. It's important for your future. So it's not just a nice to have for the schools, but they are aware that this is important for the future of their students. Then one more focus of the zero waste work in Austria is with businesses. Businesses are more and more interested in zero waste. Yes, because they have to reach some targets of the EU Green Deal. If you think of the revision of the packaging waste directive or the single-use plastics directive, so they have to reach the targets. And on the other side, we see that consumers are more and more aware of the problems of plastic packaging, and consumers want a greener way of selling. So consumers are more and more critical, and therefore the businesses have to offer something like zero waste. But on the other side, we also see that that businesses use the zero waste wording for greenwashing. But I think this is a phenomenon which is in many countries. However, there is an interest, and this is good. Concerning our work with municipalities, this is really, really difficult. As I told you before, the municipalities are organized in associations, and moreover, waste from their point of view, waste is not their main problem. As we have good waste management, you can't see the waste on the street, so everything is clean. You can't see this problem, and moreover, the focus of municipalities is more on renewable energy, on mobility. So we see that municipalities in general are interested in the zero waste topic, but there is no commitment. So they are interested in zero waste measures, in an easy strategy, but there is no commitment, and therefore we do not even have one zero waste city, zero waste municipality in Austria, not even one. I've talked to mayors since 2017 again and again, but so far we couldn't convince them to become zero waste cities. And I have to add that in Austria we have many different programs for municipalities, which are, for example, E5 municipalities with a focus on renewable energy. We have different climate programs for municipalities. So maybe this is a reason that there are so many different climate projects for them, that the zero waste program at the moment is not so interesting for them at the moment, but we still work on this topic. And then there is our NGO, Zero Waste Austria, which focuses mainly on the lifestyle topic, to show that a zero waste lifestyle is nice, and there are many possibilities. And they focus also on businesses, but this is mainly businesses to make it for citizens easier to realize their lifestyle. And Zero Waste Austria has many projects. We work mainly on projects, like, for example, zero waste prevention for hotels. There we offer a nice guide, a practical guide, where hotels can see what they can do, with many points and offers. Then we have a zero waste map where citizens can find packaging free shops all over Austria. Then for example, I made a zero waste guide for nursery schools, where I went to the nursery schools, to the kindergartens, and we made this practical guide, and everyone can download it for free. Then we had in 2019 our first Zero Waste Family Challenge. This was also me who made this. This was very, very nice with just 5 families, but we didn't only give them a zero waste kit and said, yes, now try to live zero waste. No, we offered workshops. We worked with the 5 families for half a year, and every month they had a workshop where they learned, for example, zero waste kitchen and food, zero waste in the bathroom, zero waste cleaning, and so different topics for every month. And at the end, they really had almost no waste. And yeah, it was very emphatically, to show this, we showed it in a short film of 5 minutes, where you can see the families, the real life, and they showed their zero waste life hacks. Yeah, one more project is, for example, about food waste and so on. Every year there are new projects, and yeah, so this is a very good work. Then, when it comes to packaging-free food or packaging-free everyday life shopping, then we have 3 opportunities. We have the packaging-free shops. The first shop opened in Vienna in 2014, I think, and now we have about 25 packaging-free shops in Austria, just 25. We are a small country. I found this number of 25, but I'm not sure if it is still correct, because these shops are in crisis at the moment. As I said before, the prices are high and higher, and many people do not want to afford or can't afford to go to packaging-free shops. So as in all over Europe, also in Austria, some packaging-free shops have to close. But on the other side, other shops open, maybe with a different concept. We have, for example, on the countryside, the first packaging-free shops without service. So there is no one inside. You simply go there, you take what you want and you pay, and it works. So maybe this will be the future of packaging-free shops. However, they are in a very difficult situation at the moment. Then we have more and more people who buy food on the farmer markets. I mean, this is an old thing, but we see now that more and more people go back to this way of shopping. About 30% of Austrian citizens buy at the moment at farmers markets, and this is of course very good because it is packaging free, but it is also regional. It is good for our farmers, and it is I think it is now a certain way of lifestyle, that people are not only aware that they want to avoid packaging, but they also want good and fresh regional food. So this is yeah, even a kind of lifestyle. And what something very nice, what we see, that in traditional supermarkets, there are more and more often packaging-free shop-in-shop corners. So as you see on the last photo, this is a very normal supermarket. You see the packaged products, but then there is also a small corner with packaging-free products, biological products. This is still an exception in Austria, so there are just, I don't know, maybe 10 corners like this all over Europe or all over Austria. This is still an exception, but it comes. Yeah, I know that in other countries like in Great Britain or in France, these corners are already much bigger, but it is at least a beginning here in our country. And yeah, some people say that as the packaging-free shops, the real packaging-free shops will disappear, this concept will reappear in the supermarkets. We will see. However, when it comes to zero waste legislation, we have a ban on single-use plastic bags since January 2020, and this was very well accepted because in the everyday life, plastic bags didn't have anymore a good reputation, so it was very easy for citizens to avoid the plastic bags, or they didn't really miss the plastic bags. But on the other side, we see that now there are not the plastic bags anymore in the supermarkets, but people take the single-use paper bags and think that this is better for the environment. However, it is less plastic.
It's very bad for the environment.
And yeah. Okay, this is one more very nice legislation on refillable beverages. And refillable beverages packaging in Austria means always glass. So we do not have reusable, refillable plastic bottles. Refillable is always glass in Austria. And now we have they could be more ambitious, the targets. However, we have refillable beverage packing targets of 25% by 2025 and 30% by 2030. And we see this already now in the supermarkets, as not only in the supermarkets, but also in the discounters. We already have more, for example, more and more refillable milk bottles, glass milk bottles. So it already works. And the targets will be by 2030 that there should be 10% of refillables for soft drinks and juices, 10% for milk, 15% refillables for water, and 15% refillables for beer. And I have to say that Austrian citizens, we are used to refillables, for example, for beer glass bottles, refillables. This is normal for us, and even for bottled water, it is normal that we give them back, and we know how DRS systems work. So in the supermarket, the big Tomra machine where you give back your glass bottle, this is normal for us, and we know how it works. So we just have to go back and get higher targets of refillables. And therefore, it needs a legislation, because without legislation, we see that this does not happen. And then, and this is a very, very nice regulation. Austria offers a repair bonus to citizens. Since April 2022, for example, if your coffee machine doesn't work anymore, you can bring it to a professional repair service, and you pay just 50% for repairing it. And people like this very much. So this repair bonus is just for electrical appliances. But then you have to fill in a form. You find the form online, you print it, you bring it to the professional repair service, and there you pay just the half, and maximum 200 euros. And I think this is a very popular offer. The only problem we have that people like to use this offer, but we do not have enough professional repair services at the moment. So this has to regrow this infrastructure for being able to offer this repair service. However, I think the zero waste movement still needs this civil society spirit, and zero waste will also always be a grassroots movement. It will always be the citizen who pushes the zero waste idea. And even therefore, we have so many voluntary initiatives, so many people who take their spare time for doing many initiatives, like for example, giveaway shops. I don't know if this is the correct English wording. You see the photo with the little girl. This is a giveaway shop where everyone can bring something, books, clothes, whatsoever, and you can take home whatever you want without paying everything. This is very often in cities, but also on the countryside. This is very popular. We have many repair cafes. We have so many food sharing initiatives, home composting workshops. So home composting is very popular. Or we have many open bookshelves. When you are in a town outside, you see maybe some bookshelves like this, where everyone can bring his books and take them away. Or for example, the red box you see on the photo, this is in a supermarket where someone put this box with old books and everyone can bring books and take them away. So this is, at the moment, it's very popular for making books, for a circular offer for books. Or a sewing cafe on the right side, where people meet once a month on a Saturday morning with coffee. Everyone brings his sewing machine. Not only women, but also men come. And the idea is not to produce something special, but to repair your clothes in a comfortable atmosphere, to drink some coffee. Yeah, and there are more and more very nice initiatives, always from citizens and the civil society. So this was a very quick overview to the Austrian situation, and now I'm happy to answer your questions if there are questions.
Дуже дякую, пані Евелін, дуже цікава доповідь, і я думаю, зараз наша спільнота дуже надихнулася всіми проектами. Дійсно, я обіцяла, що ми будемо обговорювати питання після всіх виступів, але, на жаль, ми повинні відпустити пані Евелін, тому бачу деякі запитання. Будь ласка, запитання до пані Евеліни. Чи дозволяється в Австрії у навчальних закладах на території шкіл, зокрема, влаштовувати компостувальні майданчики?
One technical issue. Evelyn, can you please click on the interpretation button and choose another language? Choose Ukrainian, please, and then you will hear the translation into English.
Okay, I have to put Ukrainian?
Yes.
English. Ukrainian.
Ukrainian, yes. Яніно, прошу тоді ще раз повторити.
Так, а вже ж. Чи дозволяється в Австрії у навчальних закладах на території шкіл влаштовувати компостувальні майданчики?
Yes, everyone can have his own home composting in the garden. This is, everyone can decide it for himself. In the school,
and now you have to go back to the other.
Мені здається, перекладач уточнює, що прошу. And in the school, you also can put these places, yes, for compost.
Я думаю, що тут з перекладом, Евелін, просто треба переключитися.
Okay.
Оксано, скажіть, будь ласка, хай вона перекладається.
Хвилинку, Діана, перепрошую. Евелін, пані Евелін, будь ласка, продовжуйте.
Okay. In the schools, it is, I have a small, let me answer like this. I have a problem with the screen. In the school, it's different. Some schools have it. Some schools say it's not possible for us. In general, it is allowed. But then it depends if this school is on the countryside, or for example in Vienna. But it is allowed.
Дякую. Друге питання. Яка ситуація з повторним використанням тканини? Відходів? Тканинних відходів в
I
Австрії?
can hear you. So clothes are, we have big boxes with the separate waste collection. There is curbside collection for textiles. But we do not throw away these textiles. So these textiles, they will come to second-hand shops, for example. But at the moment where you put your clothes into these containers, they are classified as waste, and it is and then it will go to second-hand shops or thrown away. It depends on the quality. This is the one side. On the other side, with a different regulation, is when you bring your own clothes to second-hand shops or to giveaway shops, then this is never classified as waste. So on the containers, if the textiles go to the containers will go to the different structures, and there they will decide, is this waste, do we have to throw it away, or is this good quality and we can sell it second hand?
Дякую за відповідь. Знову таки, якщо ви уважно слухали, то якраз йде мова про втілення ієрархії у сфері відходів і як важливо доносити до громадськості, знову таки, комунікація від органів місцевого самоврядування про ієрархію, про те, як можна запобігати утворенню відходам, тобто краще віднести свої речі, пункти перевикористання, екохаби, секонд-хенди, аніж викидати їх навіть у цільові контейнери. Дякую дуже, пані Евелін. Більше питань поки що не бачу. У мене, до речі, є дуже багато питань щодо Waste Management Association.